Excuse me. All right. Welcome back, everyone. It's a little bit of a later start than normal. My wife is distracted with the new Taylor Swift podcast right now, so I am sneaking in a stream. Uh, Not gonna lie, I might check out that podcast later myself. Maybe not tonight, but on the drive home or something. She's appearing on the New Heights podcast for those into for those football enthusiasts, I guess, or Swifties. Uh, all right, I'm gonna jump right into it since we're getting a late start. But this latest list I'm gonna try tonight is slightly different than my latest 5-0. Here is the latest 5-0. And to be honest, I got the idea because one of my patrons, shout out to them, Amaya, pointed out to me that the deck felt weaker to them with natural order in the sideboard, and I did what is unconventional, and thought, how do I make room for natural order in the main deck while keeping Thoughtseize and endurance? And actually, it was a culmination of things that led up to that day. Namely, I said that typically there's your core, which is your dorks, and your Wily Reliquary and tutor package, which is the natural. Well, let's call it the Green Sun, the consistency tools in Green Sun and Once Upon a Time. I wanted to fit all that in, and typically what's left is you have to pick three out of five, right? Like you either want the removal, the snuff outs, the discard, the let's call it Robin, two drop because white is Batman, or you want the natural order package. And I just did what I think a lot of people would say is kind of unthinkable at the time, which is I just went down on Kenai. Like I essentially unconventionally cut the card that is probably one of the better cards against the most popular deck in the format because my logic was I think we probably have margin in this matchup and we can beat Reanimator anyway. Because Kenai is like good against Reanimator and Tempo, but the problem is it's not so good against something like a DNT. And a lot of the decks are shaving their graveyard synergies because they don't want to get hit by ancillary graveyard hate. So in essence, like endurance is like a lot worse than normally is because it's just reanimator oops more or less, right? But you're not gonna cut endurance because it's just like too good at what it does, I guess. So I went down the two drops and just made room for more haymakers in the sideboard. Now I got 5-0 with that, and then I tried my luck again in the LCQ last night. I went 4-1, so I missed out on the automatic bid to the showcase, but I think there's something there, right? Over the course of 2 nights, I went, or 3 nights really, I went a combined 9-1. So my loss was to Moonstompy, and I did beat Moonstompy, in round two of the LCQ, lost it in round three, and I kind of wish I had a Spirit Guide because I just couldn't beat their nut draws. Like, namely, if I was on the draw game three, let's get the start actually. If I was on the draw game three and they had like turn one Trinisphere, which is what happened, and they curved Trinisphere into Bombardiers into the One Ring, it's just like I don't get to play Magic, and the only card besides I guess Force of Will that prevents that is Elvish Spirit Guide, and to a lesser extent, I guess Simian Spirit Guide if you're in other colors. But otherwise, you just don't get to play Magic, right? Like Enforced Negation. So that is the logic behind that. Also, I just think the more free spells we can play, the better, right? Generally, a good rule of thumb. Let's resize all these windows. I don't know what the heck's going on. Sure, why not? Um, I don't know what my opponent's on. They're 1-3, which actually makes me more scared of them. That they're on some kind of like shenanigans. Just let's see what's up. Tamio, Brainstorm, Murktide region. That's pretty bad for us, I think. I think we take the Brainstorm because we don't want Tamio to flip right away and then just like put on us on a clock. The We're just trying to get the endurance down before the Murktide comes down. Is my logic. Let's see, Tamio. We're gonna fetch black. We can't play around non-basic hate anyway already, and I don't think they're playing Magus or the Flood Moon game one. So sure, we got two. Our hand, admittedly, not the best against what they open with. Like the endurance is good against the Murktide, but like that aside, like kind of bad. We don't actually care. We're one of the better decks equipped to deal with Tamio because we're good against both sides, and um, the tempo loss is like a real thing for them. Just like vomit our hand. Yeah. Oh God, really? They don't have the combo. I'm like very nervous now. I guess they're just gonna do it, and I guess we have no. I mean, we kind of had no choice, right? We have to deal with the Tamio, anyways. But we're just like stone dead now. They have the combo. Kind of annoying, but it is what it is. We also like this looks like a tempo start to us, but now maybe we're just dead. Like they kind of like luck sacked into it. Looks like that's what happened. Again, like I don't think there's anything really we could have done about this. Unfortunate is all. Hmm. And like I said, I don't think we're allowed to just like sit back. Sure, I don't think we care. I mean, not that we care, we just can't stop it anyways. Natural orders are only out, I guess. I, actually, not even because they have force of will. They probably force this. For what it's worth, in the LCQ last night, I did beat Reanimator twice. I don't know. The first opponent was quite good, but the second opponent we both had a loss already, so I don't know if they were checked out or not. But we I didn't play the cleanest either against the second opponent, and we still won. We're on. Yeah, we I didn't play the cleanest against our second opponent. We still won, but again, I don't know how like if they were checked out or whatnot because we both had one loss. That might be a Murktide region in case we're just dead. Nope. They're digging for force, I think. Or actually, I take that back. They're just getting they're flipping Tamio. They probably already found force. Now it's just over. They didn't attack. Which actually did they? I don't know. Let's concede. Yeah. All right. Much to do about nothing. we just give up too much of our what is it called? Leeway against this deck? Maybe, I don't know. Merc stuff out seems decent. Uh so the way the Spear Guide's map is I only keep in 3 Thoughtseize. I actually don't like Thoughtseize against this deck much because you're behind on tempo. Sometimes it's relevant to take their combo piece like it was there, but they like top deck both sides, which is it is what it is. Quite unfortunate for us. I think we keep. I like the maze for what it's worth in this matchup too. Like shuts down Murktide region. You're not like super scared of it. Uh sure, I guess. This hand is like kind of all in on the white of the reliquary. Um our deck does top deck really well, but maybe we just need more gas than what we have. The thing is, like, I would keep this on 6, so it's almost like a freebie in that sense. Wow. Okay. All right, we got the soft lock in. They have to kill us this turn, or the game's over. Actually, the game's over regardless. Like, what this either they kill us here, or they're dead. They're on a 1 turn clock. So do they have it? I guess they have it. Jesus, my goodness. All right. I guess we need more graveyard. Hey, we just like ate up all of our what is it called? Maybe we used up all of our leeway in the matchup. How can our opponent get? I guess it happens like 20% of the time. Not season wasteland, sure. Not season wasteland. This would be a 5-5-6-6. No, cannot trade just yet. So the question here is like, what are we doing? If we phase it out, can we kill? We can't kill. And they have a wasteland, so there's something I need to keep in mind. We can't actually kill this turn. We'll just let it go. Like I don't think phasing it out does anything. Although now we may have to phase it out. Unfortunate that they have a combo. My philosophy is you live with the 20% time they have it, and this is the 20% that's rearing its head, so to speak. I think we take the Tamio out here. Oops, cancel. Hmm. I don't think we want to show the maze yet because they have the wasteland available. The lair is like kind of interesting, I guess. They probably hit the maze, which in the grand scheme of things, I don't I want to bait out like that wasteland. So maybe we just take the lair. Yeah. How much mana is this? 5, 10. Can we like lethal our opponent here? Maybe not. 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That's 13 to the dome here. Actually, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 13 minus 1. That's 12. 12 plus presumably 3. We're just short. We're just short. Uh, we do have to kill the Tameo, presumably. Actually, if we just attack with all, they're like forced to block. 9, that's 8. Actually, I should have went. Actually, they just waste this later on if I don't do that. Man, I probably messed up here, to be honest. Sure. Guess it doesn't matter because they're trading. A recent accolade. Which accolades are you referring to? I might be missing something here. Reanimate. Okay. Oh, thanks. I think I just do it now. I don't think I want to give them the extra card. Okay, jeez. My God. Okay. What did they target? They targeted the reanimate. So they have two reanimates. Interesting. Very odd choice by my opponent. Maybe their brainstorm response. I think I punted this game. Like maybe I'm supposed to just let that resolve. But I didn't want to give my opponent that because I know they have a brainstorm. But maybe I just like I don't care, right? Because I have the white in hand. Feels like I messed up for sure. I guess we take the Murktide Regent. I'm not. I'm playing like a doofus right now. Hey, Jonathan, how's it going? I'm playing like a doofus. I probably should have won this game, but I just like not playing very smart here. Very odd. Yeah, I probably should just let that Tamio minus happen. Like if they go for it, then we bog them. Then, but like, oops, I should have stopped this. Now it's too late. Again, I'm not playing very well here. I guess we just shields down because I need the mana. Not playing very smart, like I said. Yep, that's probably just game now. Like I said, I think I win this game if I just like don't tap out for no reason. Yeah, I lost a game I probably should have won. Thank you for the raid, Everin. Hopefully y'all missed that punt job by me. I threw a game in which I was probably like 99% chance to win because I bogged them for no reason on a meaningless Tamio minus. Oof. Sure. Thank you for the kind words, Everin. Yeah, I don't know how much you guys saw, but definitely looking real loose with these plays for me right now. What do we want here? I guess endurance is the most situational. What does DW stand for what it's worth? I forget. All right. Now I hate that I kept Thoughtseize. Don't worry. Okay, makes sense. Yeah, I think I was probably maybe 99% is exaggerating, but if I were to guess, I was probably like at least 90% chance to win, and I just like tapped out for no reason. That goes to show, uh, even somebody like me can snaggle their way or sneak their way to a 9-1 the last two nights. I went 4-1, like I said. And for those who joining in me, I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, I'm playing a deck very close to my last 5-0 list. Uh, with mind break traps to instill the fear into Storm players, and I went 4-1 the LCQ last night. Stifle? You kidding me? Huh. I feel. Ugh, this is all bad. I feel. So they stifle my thing. Then the Murktide is live. It's kind of all bad because I kept the Thoughtseize. I'm like really wishing I kept that endurance now. I guess we take the bolt and pray. Actually, there's a chance the Murktide is probably just correct because I don't think I care. They bolt one Reclaimer, right? They had Reanimate and Tomb in hand with attracts on the grave and targeting the Reanimate with a Tamio, right? And they did not have the Reanimate in hand. Actually, maybe they did. I don't know. So Slot, the thing is like they went after the Reanimate, so I let that go. Then they entomb. They can't entomb without me bogging them, right? Like that's my point. You will bog in response to the first Reanimate, otherwise they get Atraxa. Uh, maybe I'm not understanding. We just bog with Reanimate on the stack, right? I don't know if was Atraxa on the yard. Actually, it might have been. Oh, I think you are right. I think you are right. Yeah, actually, the Atraxas are already in the yard. They go for the Reanimate, and we're still hosed. So shout out to Slod there for the pointing out the correct line or the yeah. The, Slod is correct. I stand corrected. So I'm hosed regardless. Do we care about the stifle? Probably, but it is what it is. I'm like flooding out here too, and probably not playing the. So Slot is right. I would have lost that game regardless. So not as boneheaded as I thought, I guess. Although this game is probably different if I not well, it depends. I think if people start playing Cage again, then maybe, but maybe they stifle this. I don't know. Mistake from my opponent. Did they not realize I have a reclaimer? What are we doing here? We're in like a lot of trouble though. I feel like we know. Did we take the Murktide region? Maybe not. I feel like we need the Cradle mana. Let that resolve. We just like maybe I was supposed to block. I don't even know. Okay. All right. Have you seen the Heartfire Hero Blade show? It looks hilarious. I have not. I think Punishing Waterfalls. Matt might have been playing it, but I haven't. What am I doing here with this? let it go, I guess. Mm, maybe they stifle this. Who the heck knows? Not playing the best for sure. That is for sure. All right, that's game. Makes sense. I don't think I played the best here, but I think we're probably losing regardless. Yes. So phasing affects auras and artifacts relevant for random thing. I think it's good. I mold and I kept a. It's almost like a mold of five because I kept the Thoughtseize hand against his deck. I keep it in natural order now. Like I think they're like a burn deck. Although I'm testing the spirit guys, that should in theory help the matchup for what it's worth. I have too many cards. What's going on here? Oh, no Gris. What else am I cutting? I gotta look at that map. Look at the map. Oops. One natural order? Does that seem right? I mean, I can buy it. Hey, Francisco, how's it going? This is a hell of a hand. Keep. Yeah, phasing is like quite good. I wish I could play two talent gates, but like I don't want uh like unstable mana base. And my definition of stable is like very different than other people's definition of stable. I see people with like 8 color sources and they think that's like plenty. This is a telegraph that we have snuff out in our hand, but that's okay. They're gonna waste us. The cheese plays, of course. Never count out the cheese plays from our opponent. What are we doing here? Are we letting Reclaimer resolve through? They don't have days, so I guess it doesn't matter. We're immune to Bolt now, so maybe just play this. Maybe they messed up. Who the heck knows? They messed up earlier. Maze is not really for Bargoth, but that is one of the applications. Maze is predominantly, I would say, let's just do this now. It's for the biggest application is Merit Lage. Bargoth is nice, but my losses to Bargoth typically are ones where like I draw pretty poorly and just like cannot deal with it. Maybe yeah, it's fine. I don't really care. Sure. Let's do that. Bash. Feels like they kind of have Murktide Regent. We'll see. I think that is a Murktide Regent. I don't think they have a clock if that's the case. And they've wasted two wastelands already, so they're not gonna be able to deal with this maze. They're just trying to keep us off mana. Sure, I don't think I care. I care about that though. Are you kidding me? They even have the heat for the. Oh my god. They can stifle maze. Yeah. I think we're still pretty ahead, but we'll see. Maybe not after that. We'll see. I cannot believe they have the heat even. Let's get this out of here. Hmm. Question here: do I once or do I just like get a reclaimer? The answer is reclaimer. That's annoying. That's annoying. Let me see what I have on my sideboard. Maybe we can just like not have to bring in the Atraxa. Unfortunately, not much. It's all like garbage. The Grist, but then that I can't replace three cards. As you can see, the mapping is a little off. Well, that's not entirely fair. I'd probably be okay with drawing a natural order here eventually. They decline. Sure. Interesting. I guess do we care, right? Like, is the question. They're attacking with this. They must have Bolt in hand because it doesn't make sense otherwise. Maze this. We're winning the race. I'm not gonna accidentally lose to their thing here. Oh, that is a hell of a card. I think I'm winning this race, like I said. Especially with two wastelands gone already. This is a must force, in my opinion. There's the terrible sequencing by me for what it's worth. Because I knew they had a bolt, and then like it doesn't matter in this case, but oh my god, they freaking found the third wasteland. Jesus, all right. We'll go seven. I don't think we care. They chump block. That's fine. Are we just like screwed here? I guess we can block this. Actually, we're just dead. I'm like, what am I doing? We can't. We could not have attacked there. Okay, I'm playing really poorly right now. Yeah, like I needed to hold it back and attack, but we're probably just dead anyways. Playing like goofball again. Yep, just dead. Although I think it was like kind of unlucky. They found the third wasteland too. When they're just like stone dead to the maze. Yeah. All right, I need to play better. Just playing atrociously right now on stream. That actually is part of the plan. I like to purposely misplay so that my opponents can underestimate our deck during a real event. Right? It's all part of the plan. Do you think we want Saga Postport as a land even with no needle? Maybe. Like the problem is like the mapping is like still slightly off, right? I need 3 cards to come in. Like I guess I can see a scenario where like I kind of want natural order for what it's worth in this package, but unless they know our game plan is to like just go over the top of them, then we can play the grist, we can play the ley line. I guess we can play the saga to round it out, but like we can't punish their combo hands if we don't have a Traxa. We just having a draw is the unfortunate part. Now, granted, they know that they can just like play low to the ground and prevent us from casting a natural order. I have to think about what is better. Now, if we had drawn a ley line, that's pretty awful too, right? Or grist. We just didn't have any mana in that game. I would say, yeah, I don't know. We kind of didn't play the best there, and our opponent, I think, probably drew better than we did. Just because if attract would not that game certainly, but yeah, something to think about. Something to think about for sure. Although maybe with Maze, we don't have to resort to Atraxa now. Now that we have a way to lock up their, well, sort of, I guess. Now that we have a way to like lock up the ground game or flying game, I guess. It's like very awkward though the way our opponent drew that third wasteland. When I thought they were probably just dead. We have not been able to test out Spirit Guide yet. Although, to be fair, it probably would not have been good yet, given the hands that were just played out right now. The old turn two Thoughtseize. What are we doing here? Do I just take their days so I can? I don't really want to give them that brainstorm either. I guess the question is like, do we take days so we can tap out? If we do tap out, what are we getting? They have a wasteland coming, so the reclaimer is probably less good. I think we take the brainstorm. Play around the days. Oh, actually, yeah, playing around the days probably makes sense here because we're flooded anyways, and that wasteland potentially is going to come down and to deal with our first activation. Question is like, do we care about this Tamio right now? Maybe not. If they want to bowmash with me, go be by all means. I feel like this is Reanimator though. That's a hell of a hand. Hmm. We're weak to removal anyways. There's no point in attacking for two. I think we just do that. Play around wasteland. They can have their draw step. I don't think I care. Sure. They probably play wasteland now. That I have reclaimer up. Nope. Sure. Again, I don't think I care. If they want to spend 4 mana, draw 2 cards, then so be it. They want to borrow me, that's fine too. This is telegraph that we have a Cradle in hand because like there's no other reason why. Hmm, it's pretty good. Uh, that is possible, I guess. Certainly possible. So the question here is like, do I want to attack? And I feel like the answer is probably not. If I tap out this for the lair, that's 5 bashing. That then I have shields down with the endurance. I kind of want to cast endurance, but that leaves 2 mana up. 2 mana tap out. They waste me. Then suddenly bog is off in case they have the reanimator hand. I don't think that's worth it. We're just like leave all the mana up and see what they do. Actually, the first one is free. That is like someone free. Sure. I don't think we allow our opponent here to draw into force. Question is like, do we want to do anything with this 2 mana? Um, Probably not. They're gonna waste. Sure, by all means. They're gonna draw in response, presumably, to try to save the Tamio. almost certain my opponent is on Reanimator. Maybe they'll borrow the endurance. If that's the case, I don't think I care. Actually, in that case, I would probably save the endurance with the talent gates and fizzle the borrower. So they lose their borrower later, and we have an onboard endurance now, and can start bashing for a bunch. They're, we're gonna hit really hard right now. This layer is gonna do. Actually, I think it's just lethal. It's 9, like a million damage, right? Yeah, we didn't even realize it, but this is like a million damage. I'm gonna put them on Reanimator because they didn't do anything this game. I love the one Leyline in the Void, by the way. Impossible to play around, and the hardest hitting graveyard hate we can play. I always try to squeeze one Leyline in the Void if I can. I think we like to snuff out in case they're on the fair plan, but like for 2 Tamios and maybe a Murktide region. Everything else is like normal. If I needed to, I could board in the fourth Thoughtseize, but it's not particularly great. Like they usually try to like tempo us out, especially on the draw. This is a decent hand. The maze means we don't care about Murktide potentially down the road because they're gonna waste us off the Cradle. Speaking of the devil, sure. Very odd hand that they kept there. I think given that they wasted here, I'm gonna fetch basic so that they can't just like time walk us and go this route. There's an argument made we're supposed to play Hierarch here because we're gonna expose ourselves to Wasteland anyways with either Bayou or Cradle. Yeah, so a slight punish. Hmm. We run the thing in 2 days, which I don't like. We're not gonna have black otherwise, so that might just be right. Pun not intended. Sure. Our opponent, I don't. There's like no need to do that there, but whatever. So our small misplay costs us the sequencing there. Like we're supposed to lead with a hierarch because we want to keep the ignoble. Then I had the option to go ignoble into reclaimer turn 2. Sure. But we had to sequence it differently there because of my misplay. Um, maybe it doesn't matter. I don't know. But my misplay, nevertheless, is gonna hurt us down the road because we're off black. Like we should have led with a noble because we're not gonna be cut off from turn 2 white regardless, and we just like cut ourselves off black for no reason because presumably they stop our turn 1 play. Like sequencing is like super important with this deck, and that's like game losing that I just made. Game losing misplay. That's not what I want to see. The good thing is that they pop the EE. This is kind of a neat play. Oh wow. Ooh, I've always wanted to make this play. Oh, it's like I have a build my own Knight of the Reliquary, right? I've always wanted to make this play. Actually, I can still do it here. Mm, okay, am I gonna hit the maze? I might need the maze later on, so let's just keep it for now. I can always cycle if need be. That's kind of annoying. If they have the combo here, it's just really awful for us. Am I just gonna play? Sure. Oh my god. How do I thought for sure they were not gonna have the combo based on the way they were playing, but I like shields down. I guess we were screwed anyways because what they do is they just waste us, and then we have to activate in response. Okay, I guess they got it. This and maybe they waste us here. Sure. I think we lost this game because of that sequencing on turn one. On turn one, yeah, that's on me. Again, I'm playing like super loose tonight. Is there an out here? Probably not. They waste the arbor afterwards, and we're just dead. There's no beating this. We're gonna give the benefit of our doubt. Our opponent knows to waste us here. All right, let's try not to play like a buffoon. Like, I'm gone 3 for 3 and playing like a buffoon these games already. Question here is, do I want to do anything different based on what I saw? They kept the combo in. I don't think I saw any creatures. Like, I'm tempted to just board it back in Thoughtseize and just like play Sagas under the land. Yeah, let's try that. Yes. This is why we play the one up, right? Oh, I just realized they're a 62 card heathen. My goodness. If we lose to this opponent, we deserve our Cradle license revoked for losing to somebody playing 62 cards. Fatal push? Yeah, sure. Maybe I should not have played the Saga. Actually, that plays around days there, so for what it's worth. We're just like gonna lose the land for no reason now. Unless this Reclaimer sticks, right? That's on me. This is why I don't like Saga and fair matches. Okay, sure. I don't think I care. This goes to 2. We need this Reclaimer 6 so we can save this land. Otherwise, we just like mulligan for no reason. Or hope they like waste the Saga or something. All right. We're gonna lose now. We're gonna be down on land for no reason. Actually, that's not the worst. Do we want to put this back? Probably not. They're probably just gonna waste us off the land here. We just have to hope they don't have any more removal. This is why I don't really like Leyline against Reanimator. Because they just like start reanimating your creatures and you're just like down a card. And in a game where Saga was bad too. Although to be fair, the Saga let us cast the Endurance here. Okay. Hmm. Hey Adam, how's it going? Yeah, that was my fear. Like that they had the Bargoyf here, and we're gonna regret leaving our graveyard. Sure. I've like drawn terribly this game too. All right, so I don't like Leyline. This is what I get for getting cute, right? The reclaimer here is gonna waste us, unfortunately. Yeah, we're gonna lose to our own reclaimer, which is pretty brutal. I don't mind the legacy format that much. It is what it is. I don't think it's ever going back to what people want, but that's my personal opinion. Like, are there issues? Sure, but I just don't know if they can be solved with the power creep that's going on. Sure. The cutter deck is just like, I guess, another push 2 drop for a Delver. It's pretty that's sticky, right? Stuck another Bargoyle. I don't think they're gonna cast, are they? Wow. If I'm my opponent is playing loose, in my opinion. Like if I'm them, I just like hit the last land with a waste. But I don't know. Yeah, this thing would look awful in this game. But now we know, right? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, right? The red decks are bad into the Borgorf decks. What are they getting here? The Voidwalker, sure. Ugh, they get a borrower too. Goyf is kind of beatable. In Tune Game 1 is not. Makes sense. Um, guess we do it now in case it grows the Reclaimer. We're dead anyways. We're dead on board because they have the borrower. We're gonna go try to go for the 0-5 this game, this match. All because of this Leyline of the Void that I'm like trying to get cute with. So much for the I picked the wrong time to showcase this list, right? I went 2-0 yesterday on the LCQ. And here I'm going 0-2 against this deck. Because I'm playing loose. We're just dead though, so just concede. That's okay. It's again all part of the plan. Our opponent now is gonna think this works in the real in and when it matters, we will beat them. I did go for one. I beat Reanimator twice, playing a lot better than I did tonight for what it's worth. I the order was I beat Reanimator, beat Moonstompy, lost to Moonstompy, beat Leyline the Guild Pack Beans, and then beat Reanimator. That's the exact order. The loss to Moonstompy is why I'm trying Elvish Beer Guide tonight because I was on the draw game 3 and they just like went turn 1 Trinosphere, turn 2 Bombardiers, turn 4 Ring, and it's like okay, I guess I cannot beat that because I couldn't play Magic till turn 3, right? Because of Trinosphere, and I was on the draw. I won game 2. I forgot how, but that was the problem. Is like if you're on the draw, it just in that matchup it just matters so much. So that is why I'm trying the Spirit Guides tonight, which I did not play in the LCQ. It messes up some of the mapping, obviously, but I think I'm over the Leyline of the Void based on what I just saw here. Granted, I never saw Leyline in the 2 matches I beat Reanimator, so correlation potentially, right? Like we saw Leyline lost. We didn't see Leyline yesterday and won. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's pretty brutal. It happens to me a lot out of Moon where they just like I'm not aren't afraid of anything. Sometimes I get lucky, like they go turn one ring and I just happen to have the needle. But again, if you're not fortunate for that to happen, then you probably just lose. We're 3/5 away to the 0-5, so hopefully we can, get there. I don't think I want to go to five. I think we're gonna take the chance that the once upon a time is gonna hit a one drop, and if it does, this hand is suddenly a lot better. There's that one drop we're looking for. I think they're playing elves. If I were to guess, yeah. Because Curran won the showcase, not showcase, the challenge on Saturday night. I figured some players would be trying elves again. I saw it went 1-3 in the Sunday challenge because that was a Saturday night challenge that Curran won. What are we doing here? I guess just that and pass. But yeah, I think demonic tutors played it to 1-3. I think the problems that exist with elves still exist for what it's worth. Also, I think Nettle said no. Everybody knows my opinion on that card. It's if I'm being polite, it's a win more card. What are we doing here? We don't have snuff out main. Oh, yeah. Okay, I didn't realize that was you, Adam. But um, yeah, I have to imagine the mat like the DNT is probably decent into it now. What do we actually? We can bash first. Let's do that. It's like free, I guess. 2, 3, 4. Uh, if I pitch the endurance here, natural order, I can either get Cradle mana or Thoughtseize mana. I guess in either event, it's kind of bad. We gotta have to hope we draw the Thoughtseize here, anyways. I don't think a two drop here is gonna make the difference. So if we play the Arbor, that's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's do that. Mm, I think we want the endurance actually. All right, we whiffed off seeing the Green Sun land. I guess we just play that because we can. They're probably gonna combo off here. We did, and we failed to see the snuff out. Sorry, the not the snuff out. Freudian slip there. We failed to see the thoughts he's off the Atraxa trigger. Yeah, I can believe it's good into Reanimator. The people I've talked to because of Solitude. Ooh, that was a good plan. I just like didn't think about that, but you are right. I should have done that. It's been a minute since I played Beseju, so I forgot about the discount off the Atraxa. That is definitely the correct play. And now I'm gonna lose because of that. Well, It would be fitting because I've been playing loose all night. Yeah, I was just like tunnel vision. I was like, oh, it's not gonna matter anyways. A turn later. But for like I this is that is something I've even when I used to play Boseiju a lot. I would routinely forget because I would at the time have like progenitus right and just like forget it's only one mana. But we're just dead. For what it's worth, I think we were probably dead anyways. This is more makes it more of a sure thing. The problem is we can't kill. We cut hoof because we don't care about these kind of matchups. We cut hoof because we don't really care about these kind of matchups because they're not that popular. And hoof is like these are like some one of the matchups that where hoof is like relevant. Normally it's like really bad. I'm just gonna F6. Like I said, I think we were dead regardless. I'm almost certain they're on Nettle Sentinel, so that's gonna the training wheels will be on, and if we had gone another turn anyways, we would have died to the glimpse the following turn. So I'm not heartbroken or anything. Like, how did they just whiff? I mean, it's not gonna matter. Like we're beyond dead. Why are they running blue? I can only guess. Maybe Leovold or like consigned to memory or something. Ooh, I need to get rid of this. Let's do this. There's no way that's worth it. I mean, granted, this player has played some greedy lists in the past, but I can't imagine that's worth it. All right. Presumably they can't kill Atraxa, so they have to kill us this turn. The misplay is gonna hurt us big time though because they have a guy's cradle in play. I assume we're dead regardless, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I am had some interactions with this player has posted in this my Discord a few times in the past, and they're always playing, in my opinion. And my opinion, granted, is not the end all, but the greediest mana bases I've ever seen. Like, and that's not just not unique to this pilot. I think a lot of people in Legacy are like that. Granted, most people will probably say I play an ultra conservative mana base. So something I've been thinking about lately too is just like I miss the days of like reclaimer, uh, glimpse reclaimer elves because like those that's fun to combo glimpse on hard mode more or less. Hey, Y2 Fit, force a willing mana dorks against these decks feel unironically good. Yeah, I've been mentioning for a long time. A lot of these like Green Sun decks, they're so greedy on um how many payoffs that they play, You force a will their green sun turn one, they probably lose the game. That's like the secret a lot of people don't realize. It like completely falls apart. Which is why I run, for what it's worth, the full set of 8 hierarchs. But yeah, you hit their turn one like Heritage Drew or something, or Green Sun for 0, and a lot of these decks don't function because they play too many payoffs. The other thing you do too is if you force away their turn one dork, their Allosaurus Shepherd is suddenly just a 1 mana 1/1, right? Like you just blank their Allosaurus Shepherds. But for some reason, I think like 99% of Legacy players don't realize that. We should be pretty heavily favored post board with Snuff Out, which is even better than Force of Will, right, in this matchup on their turn one dork. I would just concede. I think to save everybody's time, like there's a chance, I guess, that they can't combo through Atraxa, but I feel like the odds of that happening is very low. There are 14 cards going on here. Everything's gonna get like plus 15 more or less. Uh, so that's minimum 45. Even if Atraxa absorbs 14, the question, I guess, now is like because it's not deterministic, they have to have enough attackers too. Maybe they screw up. We'll see. They should be bouncing Queer Ranger right now to get extra draw. I mean, untaps. I would get a bet against that, unless Hoof is like the last card in their deck. That would be hilarious. Although that won't happen because they can always just shuffle the Green Sun back in if they're heads up. That's a nice Hearthstone reference there. For those who know Gadget Zan's engineer, I think that's what's called. Presumably they have it already. What's going on here? It did. It did. That is what are they Green Sunny one for? Maybe they don't have hoof. Green Sun for a Nettle Sentinel. What is going on? Why didn't they just get hoof? What is going on? Like Nettle Sentinel is like the least thing they need at this juncture. Green Sun for 7? Are they trying to get Atraxa? Oh, they must have like okay, interesting. Did they like cut hoof or think they can't combo? What is going on? Like they have the kill already. I don't like what is this? What is going on? 525. Okay, that's 100 damage. Okay, we don't have enough to absorb that. Yeah, this is what I mean. Like, I mean, I don't want to speak ill, but like, a lot of that is just unnecessary, right? Needle. Do I want it for Wirewood here? It's probably will convert, to be honest. Spirit Guide. I feel like that's probably relevant to like cast natural order. We can cut a forest in this matchup. Talon Gates could be relevant as a time walk. I guess so. Yeah. Mindbreak Trap. I feel like that. I wonder if that's gonna convert. The sloppiest players only. I had a joke before. If you ever get lose because of Mindbreak Trap out of Elves, immediately deserve to turn in your Cradle license. Like that should never happen. But you never know. Let me think. Talon Gates. Do I want it for the potential time walk? Probably not. I don't think they play removal either. So let's just cut that. I feel like Grist just like annihilate their for value after like landing attracts that might be relevant. I'm like debating this. I feel like this is only works against people who are really sloppy. Let's try this. Turn three natural order. Is that gonna get it done? And this is a eight. I think we mulligan this because if the once doesn't hit the one of the eight drops, eight one drops, this hand like suddenly gets pretty bad. Yeah, this is like so much better. Very awkward that we don't have a swamp though. I will say. Oh yeah, back to that mind break trap thing. Like you should never lose to that card because it's so easy to sequence your priority spells first or second. I think I boarded out the talent gates, right? Like, yeah, I did. Hmm, this is awkward. I really need. I really need Attract to stick next turn, and because of that, I have to like sequence differently now. Because I want to go natural order, Atraxa, potentially snuff out whatever they do. Like I said, not having the Bayou here is like potentially costly in case we draw into what the heck. Of course. Wow. Okay. It's one of those nights, I guess. It is one of those nights. So do we get Grist here and tick up? Probably not. I think we just bash and see what they do. The thing is, like, I don't even want to trade. Might have to. There's no way they block, in my opinion. I think we just lost the game though by drawing the Atraxa. Unfortunate. We could go for the mythical O5 though. I hope my opponent knows they should tap the Cradle before bouncing the Visionary here, unless they drew the Heritage Druid. I will judge Elf players based on their sequencing. Okay, they're going for the kill. That makes sense. Should be a hoof here. 2, 3. We're dead. All right. 24. Yep. Obviously, this game is like very different if I don't draw that Traxa there because presumably the natural order is gonna draw us because we have a land drop too. Is probably gonna draw us into either Thoughtseize and or Snuff Out, but just one of those nights, I guess. Let me think. The funny thing there is the Mindbreak trap would have worked. Although I would have had to cut something, and I don't remember how I boarded. I think in this situation, what am I cutting? Not a white, but maybe I don't remember if I bored out safety, or maybe I did. I don't know. Actually, I think we kept the Grist in instead of the Mindbreak trap. In hindsight, I think the correct play is maybe Grist is too slow because like we don't really want to kill any of their creatures to be honest. Like especially this version where like none of the individual threats are that strong. So, oops, what the? Yeah, especially since none of the threats are individually strong. Maybe the Mindbreak trap over the um, Grist. I guess that would be the one takeaway. Would you ever cut the 9 fetch for second Beseju to hedge against Mystic Forge decks? I think answer key gaming. You must have been missed my whole spiel right now about mana bases, right? Uh, if anything, I want my mana base to be better, not worse. So we're in the 0-4 bracket. I know this person is on Mystic Forge, So if we win this, I'll consider this a victory because this is really the matchup I want to test against. I'm not playing at Eternal Weekend, but I told my Discord, or I forget who I told. Actually, I told that to my group chat. Like, if um we can solidify the Mystic Forge, oh, they're on lands. Interesting, and they know what we're on. I think this deck is like really well positioned for Eternal Weekend. This is like super awkward. I have to do this. I'm gonna go for the cheese play, of course, because why not? Um, I'm willing to bet they only kept this hand. Like this is what I mean. Like I bet you they only kept this hand because they knew what we were on. Like this looks so awful. Like why would they ever keep this hand? This looks terrible. They all account. Uh, who would do such things? Do I play any decks that don't run? Like, of course, I play Storm. In Pauper, I used to play Storm too. In what's it called? It with Cloud of Fairies. I tend to I have a type, I guess. I like creature combo. If you even count that as creature combo. What am I doing here? I guess I'm fetching to thin. We have Dark Depths next turn. It's the yep. It's one of those days. It is one of those days. Speaking of GSD, what is your opinion on the new art? Good question. I don't know what the new art is. If it's that weird, funky one, then I don't know. The funny thing here is we can actually hardcast Atraxa, but they're not going for it. Well, I guess there's no downside of doing that. So I think they're gonna name like Boseiju or Caracas, something like that. I doubt they name Reclaimer here. Ooh, I thought they for sure were going to what's it called? I thought for sure they were going to get the needle. Interesting. Ghost Quarter. Oh, they're playing scared. Oh, interesting. Yeah, my opponent is playing way too scared in my opinion. Cannot attack here now. The funny thing is this: I can pitch the Misty Rainforest for the Cradle now. I guess they were respecting the reclaimer on Talon Gates. That's my only explanation. They're more for sure going for it now, right? It's like, so we have just enough for the Atraxa hardcast here. They're gonna do it because they want to play around Wasteland, presumably. Oh no, they're still playing scared. What is going on? Like they have a cage out. What is? I don't understand what's going on with my opponent. I don't know what is going on here. They should have won already potentially. Like there's no way they're putting me on hardcast Atraxa, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, they're playing way too scared in my opinion. The last Cradle though, that's a little scary. Like they had the combo, they just like never went for it for who knows why. Yeah, kind of late for that. Don't see this every day, but it does come up every once in a while. The old hardcast Atraxa. What are we taking here? Once upon a time, Green Sun Zenith. I guess I'll bog them. Do I want to Besage you? I don't think I do. Not at least. Well, actually, maybe. I don't think bog matters here. So maybe I'll take the Besage you. And then the creature is Arbor. I don't think the other stuff matters. Ooh, there's the Caracas. I'll just hardcast that again, I guess. Ooh, okay, that's fine. Just do it again. Oh, they're gonna waste my Cradle here. Respect, I guess. Sure. Well, I'm bordering on the level of being able to hardcast Atraxa. Tabernacle. Okay. Don't think I care actually. Uh, let that die. What are we doing here? None of the other stuff matters. I just like bash. I think my opponent's dead. I tapped wrong here for what it's worth. Like I should leave Hierarch because that's not susceptible to Wasteland. They could have the fourth, but my opponent super punted in my opinion. So like triple asterisk on this game. Like they had Merit Lage so many times, just didn't go for it for who knows why. Thoughtseize is bad here. Um, Safekeeper, I don't think I want. I think I can just like cut the endurances. Like I don't think Loam is the reason why we're losing, and then the rest is like fine. Like I'm not gonna respect their Loam. Like Bog and one endurance is like feels good enough to me. Ugh. This hand is good and not at the same time. Like I love Wild Reliquary in this matchup. The problem is like if they have one needle or disruptor flute, it's kind of shaky. Like this card hard carries in this matchup. But again, they do have like a bunch of these needle type effects now. Another 61 card heathen. Sure. Ugh, Force of Vigor would be so good right now. Do I just want to hit land drops, or do I want Dork? I feel like we just need to hit land drops. Uh, we're gonna try to play around. Well, the problem is we can't play around Wasteland here. Let's do this. If they waste this, then that's fine. The reason why I don't want to expose the Bayou or the if I go basic, it's bad because um then the layer is like untapped next turn, and I don't want to expose my Bayou. Rumble, sure. Ancient Tomb, sure. Excuse me. Sure. Good thing we cast this first. I don't know what they're doing. It doesn't make any sense. Their plays have made no sense in my opinion. Like I don't even have mana to cast the second Wild Reliquary there. Like there's no need to do that. But again, going back to game one, triple asterisk. Like I said, they should have won that game if they just go, or I don't know if should have won is the right word, but they should have definitely gone for Merit Lage. There's no guarantee they would have won, but like, hmm. Question here is like, what do we do? We can't attack profitably. I guess maybe we can. I don't know. We're gonna have to attack at some point, so might as well do it now. Just bog our opponent, I guess, in case they draw loam. And then we're gonna hard cast, I guess, Wild Reliquary next turn. So the bog was like good there, right? Because I cut them off the Baseju plus the saga. They milled a bunch of stuff that don't matter. This is kind of hilarious. The bog, I guess, preemptive play working out in our favor here. We're gonna bash for 5 with a white and not that far off from lethal. Okay. So one, two, three, four. If we bash with the lair, they're on a 1 turn clock. I think this is also a 1 turn clock. So except we want have the white in play, right? And this plays around potential wasteland. Oh my god, this is hilarious. This is hilarious. I don't know what's going on with that mana base, but there's a lot of spells in your yard. That's pretty hilarious. One, two, three, four, five. So they're technically not dead, but actually they are dead. This is like 5, right? We have exactly 9 damage, and we still put the pressure if they even if they draw a wasteland. All right, that was kind of interesting, I guess. This flute was good and not at the same time. Anybody have any questions for me? Unfortunately, we did not really get to. We could not get the mythical 05 as we wanted. Uh, I think the Leyline of the Void is like looks pretty sketch. Like honestly, I don't really want to keep it against Reanimator. I already knew this, but I got enamored with this again because it's like something I like to do. Particularly if Oops is popular, but especially since we are giving up our margin main deck by cutting the Keen Curators. I don't think we can afford for a dead card here. Uh, what else? Would you ever build a list gunning for Reanimator +4 to just disregard all other matchups? It's funny you mentioned that because I was gonna write an article, and I think the main 2 decks you have to prepare for Eternal Weekend are those 2 decks because I think Reanimator is the most best all around deck I would say and very popular still. Like I think they have the best pilots. I think Forge is the type of deck that is like inherently strong in a vacuum and somebody that likes to goldfish for lack of a better term. Maybe they're not as familiar with Legacy or they just want a deck that doesn't interact as much and relatively easy to play. I think the players who traditionally skew towards like Black Red Reanimator or like Show and Tell or like Moonstomp, these really linear slash rewards you for your sequencing, but maybe not so much like your knowledge of the metagame per se. Like I think that's Forge is like the best position of those kind of decks. Um, if that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to cast aspersions on the deck. I think the deck's really strong. It's just like the reality of it is it's fairly easy to pick up, and because the gameplay is linear, and because of that, you have to be ready because a lot of pilots will be on that deck, in my opinion. Anybody have any questions for me? Obviously, a poor showing tonight, and couldn't even get the 05 to be honest. Kind of disappointed in that. Our opponent couldn't count on them to to make the right play. I guess. Don't think I want this going forward. Everything else, I didn't even get to test this, which is a shame. I get the feeling one might be the correct number because I think drawing two is kind of a disaster. Also, one is just perfect. The blowout, right? You just get people every once in a while, and not the end of the world if you draw it. It'll likely convert in most cases. Two, you're higher ceiling, but the floor is higher too, or lower, I should say. Everything else I think is like reasonable. Anybody have any questions for me? Missing Kina didn't seem too bad. No, I don't think so. No, the way the game's played out today, I don't think it mattered. How are ESG? We didn't really get a test that, unfortunately. There was one sequence where it was like okay, but for the most part, we didn't. We tried to go for the 05 and we fell short here. I played super loose the first few rounds. I probably played the best when it didn't matter anymore. And then here, your classic. I drew a track to the turn before I was supposed to natural order. Otherwise, I think I win game two and should be favored game three. Like my history in the pseudo Cradle mirror is I would be disadvantaged on paper, but my win rate is like above 60% because I think I have more experience in the matchup. But that's neither here nor there. It's just how I see things because uh, I get it brought up a lot to me, like, oh, why do you play the version you do? Because you're on paper, you're not favored, and I actually agree with that for what it's worth, historically. But I guess experience can trump, paper sometimes. Anybody have any questions for me? I don't want to ramble on too long. Let's see, who should we raid? Also, good luck to if you still hear Adam in the showcase this weekend. Uh, what's it called? I did not qualify. I went 4-1 last night. Who's your favorite Magic player? Great question, Twindom. I would say as of right now, I would say probably Andrea Mangucci. My interactions with him have been really positive. He plays Cradle. Um, Again, I've never had a bad experience with him. I like his streams. Um, I like that he can make fun of himself. The buy high, never sell. I think right now he might be my favorite Magic player in terms of like just um in terms of just interaction, just personality. I think taking that one step further, who is my favorite deck builder? Because that's I think what I enjoy most about Magic. I think that person is probably my uh, co-host, who have a lot of respect for on the podcast. Granted, we are in pseudo hiatus right now because everybody's been busy, but Killaby, Benedict is probably my favorite deck builder just because he comes up with ideas I can't even dream of, and I can always appreciate somebody, especially if they're building Storm like the way that he does. So I guess that's a two-part answer for me, right? Like I value deck building a lot, so from a deck building perspective, maybe Killaby, but favorite person overall probably Minguchi. Great question. Anybody have any other questions or just all around comments? Um, Also, I guess a what is it called? Announcement. I will be before Eternal Weekend. In the next 2 weeks, hopefully, writing a guide. Courtesy. I got persuaded by Andreas Peterson, Echo Baronin, to do so on this Cradle deck. Now, obviously, if you watch the stream, pretty poor showing for me today, but obviously I'm testing a few cards and I played pretty loose tonight. So, take that for what it's worth. If there are no other questions, let's go ahead and raid PT Bench. Thank you everyone for hanging out, and shout out to Everin for the raid. Apologies for the misplays, but as Everin said earlier, those who came from his stream, we snatched victory from defeat from victory from the jaws of victory tonight many times. All right, thanks for hanging out.